now we've got all the history lesson out of the way. We can get stuck into the Counter-Strike side of things, which is where we all wanted to be anyway. Now we got you, Kinder, with us here, and we've been a massive fan of you in the show before. I don't know if you've seen the clips of us talking very positive things about you middle of last year, I think it was, maybe even a little bit before that. But all in all, for those people who aren't too familiar, I'll give everybody a quick little rundown. This gentleman right here from Latvia, we covered that, basically came, I want to say from nowhere, because that's how quick you went from being a player on Pro 100, or I said that wrong anyway. Fucking hell. I'm going to offend so many people tonight. Straight to VP, and then as soon as Buster came back, you guys became like you trending up to be one of the most dangerous teams we have at the moment. You're 21 years of age, so this has all happened quite quickly. And the picture we have on you on HLTV.org is 2 years old. So that's the synopsis right there. Do you want to help us dive into, though, kind of about this whole Virtus.Pro thing? How did it come about? How were you approached? Well, how did it all start, really?
No, this is actually nothing much to say. Like, Zeus told me that Virtus.Pro are interested in me, like before even the major got cancelled in like May, or probably somewhere there, like Rio Major. And the main plan was after the major to join in, probably. Like that was the plan. But after the major got cancelled, they just played RMR, and I played RMR with Pro 100. But already like mid-April till this end of May, I was like 99% sure already that I'm going to VP. So like Zeus told me everything, and then it was like 1 month of discussions about like like boring stuff and all that other. Can I swear?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Yeah, all that other shit. So yeah.
Some people don't like the swearing, but that makes me swear more. So like, swear as much as you want. You can say basically whatever you want here. I think Lucas is pretty quick. He can beep it out, right, Lucas?
No, I just
okay. All right, never mind. It's live, so anything can go wrong. But okay, so I think that's an important point right there. Is that Zeus was obviously the owner of Pro 100, right? Like, so when with this deal going down, and you were saying that they were interested in you and stuff, did they go to the org and say, hey, we want you, Kinder? Or did they come to you and say, hey, are you interested? And then you had to go to the org? Or was the deal like kind of done and you didn't get too much of a say?
Like, they did how it has to be, like Virtus.Pro offered to Zeus, like the org owner, and like Zeus asked me if I want to go, and obviously I wanted to go, and that's how it happened. And then I didn't have anything, like I didn't need to say anything else. Everything else was between like Zeus and VP.
Okay, well, that's definitely not how I remember it being done. I'm sure with some of these teams today, probably still not how it's being done, right? I would say with some of these top teams and players, they're still the ones who are kind of working out their own deals and shit. So at least it's cool to hear it went down that way. Prof, you want to jump in here, and I'll let Striker as well, because I'm sure we all have a lot of questions.
Striker? This is kind of like a really vague question. I don't know where you want to take it, but I guess when did you realize like you could make it big? I guess recently it's kind of like started going that way, but when did you first realize that was kind of where it was going?
Well, I mean, in Pro 100, I knew that I would in some time probably join a better team. Like, I'm quite an ambitious person myself, and I can feel my own ceiling, feel my own like level of play, and I'm always trying to improve. And I know that if you work hard enough, the opportunities will come like in some time, obviously. And like when I joined VP, after I started playing with them, and I just noticed like after like first prac, I already knew like these players are the types of players that we can get to the top easily. And after that, it's just like practice, tournament, practice, and everything else, and it just worked out.
Okay. Do you think then that the biggest like potential obstacle for players trying to break out is just getting on a good enough team? Like, it doesn't matter how you can be pretty good, but if you just don't have maybe the connection, or you don't get spotted by someone, or someone doesn't need the type of player you are, you can just like kind of wander in the top, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like that as well, because like you can waste a lot of time being in the wrong spot, not having the connections with the right people, and as well as getting closed in some works or something, like by contract or something. So lucky for me, it didn't happen for me. So I'm glad for that. But yeah, it can waste a lot of time and a lot of your like potential.
Okay. I wanted to reference that article you linked to me earlier, Prof. The one that you released. When was it? Late last year. About
yeah, it was like end of to just before like Christmas or New Year or something like that.
So in that right there, that's obviously detailing more of the younger years, right? It's talking about more of like your local team and how you got to this point, at least in the early stages of that article, right? Now, do we want to rehash that stuff, or do we just direct people to the article? What do you reckon, Prof? I want your hard work to be started here.
No, I mean, probably people can go and read it just to get like the full picture. Even though I feel like it's pretty interesting, the whole rise from just going from like a local team and then into EPG, where he played with Hooch and all of that, like a bit of FPL and all of that, how that kind of built a lineup. But if you want to ask something, you can, obviously.
Yeah, I have one of these things, right? Because we're going to get into talking more about your play style a little bit later on. But in terms of players which influenced you, right? I remember in my early days, and they're super niche names. I'm not going to mention them here. I'll probably mention them on past shows. But there were figures who never went on in Oz Counter-Strike to, necessarily be any huge stars or anything. But they were influential in like my career going up. But what are the biggest names for you, at least to this point, that have kind of influence either the way that you approach the game or helped you get to where you are? Because I think that we often not overlook those things, but we don't tend to dig into those too much on this show when we talk to players about how they've gotten to where they are.
Well, I mean, I can probably do 4 parts, like 4 times of my like career, and there were like different players and people that actually helped me a lot. Like first part is like HenryG and the HenryG. HenryG, you know him from the Twitter. He's always asking the stupid questions. Okay, and like Volsung, like in general, it was the like trampoline for me to go actually to get first contract and everything like that. They were the people I looked up on at the start of my career. Obviously, then EPG, obviously Hooch, father figure, a lot of good stuff. I told it in the article, as you mentioned already. We talked about him. Then in Pro 100, actually, like a lot of players like Ivan, Def, Kenzor, and Flourish, the people that I played most with there, and like obviously Zeus. So all them, and then World Elite and Waylander, all of them helped me. But like probably Zeus and Flourish were, and Nickelback, three most important peoples in Pro 100, and then obviously VP now.
Okay.
Everyone from VP. So
I might ask you a bit more about Nickelback later in the show when we talk about Extreme, because I think they lost to Nickelback just the other day. So we might talk about him a little bit later in the show. But